Seriously. Oh my God. They will do better if they're hanging. And I want to also talk about my makeshift humidification for this chamber. This chamber it alternates back between a freezer and a curing chamber depending on what I need at the particular time. But right now I'm gonna go full into curing chamber. This was actually one of my very first curing chambers. I think this is a Frigidaire, and it's an upright freezer that I have an ink bird on, and I control my temperature generally between 36 degrees up to about 45 degrees. I think 48 degrees is the highest it goes. And one of my mentors, I'll call him my mentor, although I've never actually met him in person before, but he's given me all kinds of wonderful advice over the years, and he's one hell of a nice feller. Robert Goodrick taught me a long time ago that you don't need to, most people run their chambers around 55 degrees, even 65 degrees in some cases, and it's just not necessary. There's too many avenues for things to go wrong when you're running at those higher temperatures. Running it at a cooler temperature allows you a lot greater flexibility, and you get the same result. It takes a little bit longer, but you know what? Sometimes taking a little bit longer to do things is better, I also believe that you get a more complex flavor if it takes a little bit longer, because these have a better these have a better opportunity. It amazes me that within 1 week, these are maybe a week and a half, 2 weeks, that it's that stiff already. I'm running around, it says 90% humidity, but I don't think I'm at 90% humidity. I think generally I'm pretty close to 77%. And I have a little trick that I use that helps me maintain that 77% humidity. It reminds me I need it. That's where that should be. So this is my makeshift humidifier right here. I put this on a lower shelf, and this is a sterilized, I'm sure it is, not anymore because it's been in this chamber and I've rubbed all kinds of mold and stuff. Sterilized cloth that I use, and I put it on the bottom and I hang this up through the thing, and it makes like a big wall of a curtain of water, so to speak, and it wicks the water up. And then there's a fan that comes on every now and then, and it only comes on when the light comes on, so the temperature, whenever the unit comes on, actually I don't even think the light comes on when that happens, but whenever the unit comes on, there's a fan that blows around that will rotate some of that, and it seems to maintain the temperature really nicely at 77. Not temperature, humidity, 77. Ooh, what's that smell? You smell that smell? Oh, what's that big bad boy? Ooh, look at that one. Exactly the same salami as the rest of them, but a little bigger. We'll call this one the John Haney right here. It's a big, big, look at that. John Haney, I'm not cutting into this till you come to my farm again. You break bread with me, because this is one beautiful salami, just the way you are one beautiful human being. seriously, if you guys don't know John Haney, he's easily one of the, I don't know what you say, he's probably the best human being I know. And he's just such a nice guy. And he cooks for the masses. He just did a Nurses Week. He brought all of his barbecue equipment and he cooked for all the nurses at a particular hospital. And I think he served like 2,200 people in one day. Restaurants don't do that. I mean, 600 covers for a night on a restaurant. That's a good night. John Haney doing 2,200 or 2,300 covers. It's hard to describe it, and I guarantee you that boy paid for every single bit of that out of his own pocket. I'm using stainless steel hooks like that to hang my little dingalings. We'll call them dingalings for lack of a better word. This one here, Matt Dugan, he's kind of interested in this. This one here is coated in cornmeal. This is my test. You always have a little bit of test farce. Farce is what we call the stuff before you put it into the casings. These are loose end pillow casings, but this sample was a little bigger than most. I'll put that right there for now. But you can cut them in cornmeal. They did that in the old days if they didn't have any casings, and I didn't feel like getting out a casing for that. Plus I like to do a few things that are old school, which is coating in cornmeal. Now, will it grow mold? I see mold growing on it already. This here, by the way, this here is spicy pork bulgogi. Now this wiener won't stand up the same way the other ones will, because, well, they're Korean, so you gotta figure on that one. But sorry I went there. But we'll call that one the Jun Lee. Lee Jun Zog, I miss you too, by the way. I need to see you soon, Jun Lee. Oh, but look, we got the mold growing on it. And people say, well, how's that recipe on your spicy pork bulgogi salami different than your regular spicy pork bulgogi? It's not at all different. It's not even a little bit different. It's actually exactly the same recipe. Now, I do add a little nitrate, mixture of nitrate, nitrite, cure number 2, 0.25%, or something like that. You do whatever you think is right, but you do it 0.25%, and you don't do it any other way because you don't want to hurt nobody. So you gotta make sure your stuff's good. But literally exactly the same recipe. You don't want your salamis touching. That's true in any group of friends. I'm just saying, in general, if you got a couple salamis, around, you don't want them to be touching. Just thought I'd throw that out there. And fortunately, I think most fellers follow that. Salamis follow that practice. But yeah, it's not a. It literally is exactly the same recipe that I use for regular bulgogi. I just add a curing agent that allows it to go for more than, well, ours goes for more than 60 days. It goes for more than that too. You know what I haven't done though, and I think I want to try it? I think I'm going to smoke. Some of the prosciuttos that we do, sometimes we smoke them. And when I say smoke, I don't mean smoke traditionally like on a barbecue grill. I mean smoke, we cold smoke them. We try to have it as cold as we can get it at outside atmosphere temperature, but we run a little wisp of smoke over it for several hours. Actually, several hours. You do it in stages because you don't want it to be out there for a long time at that same room temperature. But I don't generally cold smoke over whatever room temperature is, and we generally do that in the colder months of the year. But I like to do some cold smoked bulgogi salami. This salami, so I showed you the one that I coated in cornmeal. This one I did in the umai bag, right? You know umai? It's exactly the same. It's like a natural membrane. It's not natural at all. It's plastic is what it is, but it's a semi-permeable membrane that allows moisture out, but doesn't allow anything to go in. And for the most part, it doesn't allow smells to come out either. So you can do it in your own refrigerator right there with your wife, you know, indoors in the kitchen, and she's not going to kick you out. Now, she'll be mad because you're taking up space, but they're always mad. You know, I really haven't found a day of the week where they're not mad about something. I'm sorry, baby Jesus, I said it. I love them, you know. The wives are great. I love the wives. Wives are lovely and they're friendly, but you guys will agree with me. They tend to be a little cantankerous sometimes. You know, what I got? 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. All right, that's about even right there. But now we got other things in here. So these right here. I know they look like dead socks from an old cow, but and they are. I mean, look at that. That's horrible. So this is a new my bag right here, and I allowed it to dry out almost completely. They're hard as, you know, rocks, and you know, they're still going to be okay. Whenever you take a dry aged steak and you dry it out, right, you let it go 60 days, 80 days, 120 days, whatever. There's that hard pellicle on the outside. Most people, not most people, there's a lot of people that throw that out. They cut that off. They want to get the inside dry aged steak and they put it on the grill and it tastes fabulous. I get that. But don't throw that outside coating off, even though it looks like it's dried dead like an old toenail. It's still lovely. You can add it to other things. So I actually take prime rib. These are New York strip steaks, and I've literally dry aged them until they're completely dried out. These are literally like the big toenail that you cut off your mom's toe, and well, they smell good, don't they? They don't smell like your mom's toe. But these guys right here, literally, I think I might be taking them too far. Well, they're bendable. So these guys I'll put through a grinder, and I'll put them through two phases of coarse grinder first, and a real fine one. And I'll add these to my what I call a mesa burgers. And that's where you take really good ground beef, probably Wagyu or something like that, and some duck, and some pellicle. Pellicle is what we call the stuff that comes off the dry aged prime rib that you put in there, and you try and impress your mother-in-law. You do the prime rib, beautiful, and you cut all those things off, and you take a beautiful 14-pound prime rib and you reduce it down to 8 pounds. And then you cut all the rest of it off and you got 6 pounds, and it tastes lovely. I get it, but Lord have mercy, that's a lot of waste in there. I don't waste nothing. So I take these and I try to replicate that. I ain't been drying these. They don't got much give in them at all, actually. So these toenails I'm gonna grind up and put in what I call the mesa burger, and there's a whole bunch of other ingredients that go in there, but it's the reason we call it a mesa burger. And I got other things down here. So normally the best way that I use to control my humidity is I continue to add new product that is releasing moisture to keep the humidity up in the chamber, because you don't want to drop below 70%. You'll start to dry things out, and drying things out helps. It causes you to lose your mold. It causes all kinds of things that aren't great. Now you can do it temporarily. You can do it, you know, here and there, on and off, but you don't want to do it on a regular basis. So I try to keep enough new product going in. They call it loading the hopper. And here's an example. I've got, Lord, I have a lot in the hopper, and I'll tell you, you know, for roughly 3 years, we haven't done a lot of new stuff. We've cured a lot, but this building was not conducive when we originally came here to aging stuff. I was scared. And it's just the truth of it. I was scared. I didn't know what kind of, I didn't want things in there that I didn't want to have in there as far as mold and yeast and bacteria. So we've cleaned the building 1,000 times. We've inoculated everything now with 600. We've got old salamis that we pull out and we rub, and we literally like just throw it around like, hey, look at it, woo! So if you see white powder on me sometimes, you know what it is. But so this one here, Parlour Farms sent me several legs of their lamb, and they truly some of the best lamb you'll get in the world. And this has been under cure for almost 3 years, 2.5 years, right, in cure. And I'm getting ready to take so many things out of cure and start hanging. I can't do it all at one time because I'll overwhelm my chamber. I'll have too much humidity, and then I'll have to crack my door, and I don't like doing that because, well, I'll do it, and I'll put the fan on the outside to pull the thing and over and in. But I don't like doing that, so I'm gonna just like about once a week I'll open up a new something or other. There's one there. Oh, you'll like this. Oh, look at this bad boy right here. Ooh, this here is one of the legs from Amos. You guys remember Amos? So this is hilarious. This isn't even the whole leg of Amos. This is just the culatello. Culatello is one portion of the muscle of the back leg, the hind leg. This is number 119. It went into cure on January 3rd, 2023. So a little over a year. I've got stuff that's been in cure for 3 years. Seriously, I do. I have stuff that's been in cure back when it was in my old joint. This is my old house, not the, you know. But this bad boy right here, look at the size of that. It's just a culatello. So I'll take him out, and then probably, you know, once a week I'm going to try to take something out. And maybe it's not once a week, maybe it's once a month. I don't know. I got a lot of things though. I'll put that guy there. Oh, there's so many different things. So what's this little thing? Oh, it's not even, oh, there's labels. All right, so this is 114. So this tells me it's probably, it's really worn off, but I do have the number. Look, the number is 114, so I can go to my book and I can look in there and I can tell what it is. Oh, you know what this is? No, I don't either. But we'll find out. And that in 114, so that was in cure longer than 119. Let's see what this last one is. Down here, got one more. Oh, that's the other leg that went to the matching legs on the lamb. This one's number 103. So this was done in 21, August of 21 is when it went into cure. That's how long these have been in cure. I cannot wait to start aging this bad boy, drying it and aging it really slowly. And because the lamb doesn't have a lot of fat on it, I'm going to have to take some really special precautions on how to get this to dry evenly, so that we're not getting any case hardening or anything like that. But I'm really excited about this. This now that we got the new house built, and I've moved a bunch of stuff over there, and I got stuff rearranged over here. We can really start building up the meat shop again and get things going the way we need to. Oh, look at that! Even Umai's got some mold on it, which I like that. I like it. A lot of people say Umai don't grow the mold. It does. It even grows it on the outside of the wrapper, but it also grows it on the inside of the wrapper. But stay tuned. We got lots of fun things coming on. And another next week is actually our 3rd edition of the Parlour Farms Meat Club, and I think we're going to do bacon. And it's the same night that Jamie's doing her croissant with Triskel Bakery, Alan Merrick. And what better thing to go along with croissants than bacon? So we're going to do a bunch of different. Did you guys see me scratching myself down here?